The UT10 Athlete of the Week has specific hobbies and routines that even your grandmother would be proud of. I'm Jamal McKinney with the latest.
Turning 30, I'm Zeke Fraber with how a local organization is celebrating their 30th year.
Looking after our youth, I'm Crystal Clark with some big changes that may be coming to Ohio's public schools.
UT10 News starts now. Changes may be coming to your children's school, especially if one board member of the Ohio State Board of Education has anything to say about it.
This comes in response to Biden administration's plans to update Title IX regulations to include the protection of LGBTQIA+ students from discrimination.
You must boldly declare Ohio's autonomy by voting yes on the resolution.
Hours of deliberation and testimony filled the meeting room on September 20th. Both in support and in opposition of a resolution put forward.
So look at me for who I am aside from being transgender. Look at all the things that will be taken from me if you pass this resolution.
So what is this resolution? Well, it is this 4-page proposal that was put forward by board member Brandon Shea. In this proposal, titled Resolution to Support Parents, Schools and Districts in Rejecting Harmful, Coercive and Burdensome Gender Identity Policies, Shea looks to require schools to disclose to parents whenever their child questions their gender identity, as well as prohibiting transgender students from using facilities that match their gender identity. University of Toledo clinical professor of law Rob Salem is wary of the resolution.
The federal rules generally enjoy supremacy. There could be some serious ramifications to schools. They could lose federal funding, and that includes funding for curricular issues, funding for programs, funding for free school lunches. So the consequences are dire.
Salem says there's only a matter of time until we see more policies like the Title IX amendments throughout other facets of our lives.
And that's simply because more and more people are coming out, and more people know LGBTQ people. So I think because of that, we'll see policies catch up faster than most people think.
The State Board of Education votes on the resolution next week. For more information and to view a copy of that resolution, head to ut10news.com. Time now for news making headlines across America.
We begin with an expensive lesson for a celebrity that you probably know. The feds are forcing Kim Kardashian to pay $1 million for promoting a cryptocurrency scandal on social media without telling her followers that she was getting paid for the post. She's barred from promoting crypto for the next 3 years. She also has to pay back the $250,000 plus interest that she was paid for the promotion. Another well-known figure is likely headed to court. Former President Donald Trump is suing CNN. According to the Associated Press, he wants nearly $500 million for defamation and claims that the network tried to prevent him from running again. The lawsuit specifically mentions CNN's use of the phrase, "the big lie," which was used on the network nearly 8,000 times since 2021. The phrase refers to Trump and his team denying the 2020 presidential election results. Meanwhile, American basketball player Brittany Griner will appeal her 9-year sentence for drug possession in Russia later this month. The AP reports the Olympic gold medalist who plays for the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury was convicted in August after Russian authorities found a cannabis vape in her luggage at a Moscow airport earlier this year. Her appeal states that she was prescribed cannabis as a pain treatment. Women across America are cutting their hair in support of Mahsa Amini, a young Iranian woman who died in police custody. Amini was allegedly arrested by the morality police for breaking hijab rules. Reuters reports that human rights groups say that at least 83 people have been killed in nearly 2 weeks of demonstrations after her death. Iran has since limited internet access to its citizens, causing international outrage. Iran's supreme leader is accusing the U.S. of designing these riots in a premeditated plan to destabilize his country. Cops in California are searching for who they believe is on a mission-oriented murder. The AP reports since last year, 6 men have been fatally shot and 1 woman wounded. All crimes were linked to the same gun. A person of interest was captured on video at the shootings, but there's no evidence connecting the person to the murders. Political rivals are putting aside their differences to help those in need. The AP reports in the aftermath of Hurricane Ian, President Biden and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis are working together. Ian has claimed at least 84 lives. The 150-mile-per-hour winds knocked out power for more than 2.6 million people. Many of them are in desperate need of food and water. Rebuilding is expected to take years and cost billions. Biden said on Scene in Florida, quote, "The only thing that I can assure you is that the federal government will be here until it's finished."
And nearly a month after another hurricane hit Puerto Rico, residents there are still struggling to get their lives back together. Residents captured this video on their cell phones. You can see power is still disrupted and people are removing trees from roadways. One Toledo student says his aunt, like so many others there, was still recovering from Hurricane Maria when Fiona hit.
A lot of people lost power. My aunt included is still without power, and it's been 2 weeks.
Many residents also don't have access to clean water. President Biden has pledged to help Puerto Rico, and this hurricane is estimated to have also caused billions in damages. The music scene in Toledo is raging back to life following the pandemic.
One band pulls a crowd by bringing jazz improvisation back to music in Toledo. The Funk Factory all started in 2017 with Jason Ram on a guitar, Alex Wolfert in his keys, and the energy and soul powerhouse that is Steph Clegg. The band played with many before settling into their current lineup with Dan Connell on drums and Vijay Natarajan stepping in as temporary bassist.
It's a bunch of cool, quirky, weird people that just absolutely love us and we love them, and that's what it's all about for me, is putting smiles on faces.
Singer Steph and drummer Dan had similar sentiments while chatting with friends between sets.
It's fun to put smiles on people's faces because they put smiles on our faces, right?
Yeah, it makes me feel like the rich, creamy center of the universe.
Yeah.
The Village Idiot was packed on September 30th for the band's headlining set at 10 p.m., featuring a custom light show from Greg Maynard. Pulling from jazz and funk, the band features original music highlighted with segments of improvisation and wailing solos. Each member sings in addition to any instruments they play, bringing a wide variety of sounds to their performances.
When we kind of jump off a cliff and are like in nowhere land and trying to make sense of it, and then it eventually comes into something cohesive.
It's very close-knit. Everyone kind of supports each other, you know? Nobody's kind of like an outcast or a lone wolf. Everyone just kind of like, I don't know, helps each other be themselves. Right?
This is BJ from the Funk Factory for UT 10. Go Rockets.
I'm Zeke Fravor, and this is your UT10 Sports Report. Most junior hockey programs fizzle out for a variety of reasons, whether it be lack of fan support or money problems. A local team is bucking the trend and is celebrating their 30th season this year. The Toledo Cherokee have been around since the 1993 season, when they were a part of the Central States Hockey League. Since then, they've won a national title and have been a model of consistency for a Junior B hockey program. This year, they're celebrating 30 years with a few special events.
You know, the big games for us are the Christmas jersey game and the SAP night and senior night, things like that.
Local talent, like some of the players you see out here, have been a lifeblood for the Cherokee in the past. But over the past few years, they've started branching out nationwide.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with recruiting, and we're recruiting from everywhere now.
Other than a losing season a few years ago, the Cherokee have been a perennial contender season after season. This year, the team hopes to go even further than before in hopes of replicating the national championship season of 1998.
Obviously, our goal is to one, get back there, and two, get further than we were last season, and hopefully, win a championship.
The Cherokee have 4 months and 44 games to do just that. The Cherokee play their home games at the team's Toledo Ice House on Alexis Road. We've attached a link to the team's website on our website, ut10news.com. It's now time to take a look at our Athlete of the Week. UT10's Jamon McKinney sat down with quarterback Daquan Finn of the Rockets football team.
Thank you, Zeke. Today we get a chance to look behind the scenes at University of Toledo starting quarterback Daquan Finn. Finn, during the summer, was able to join the likes of C.J. Stroud from Ohio State and Alabama's Bryce Young during the 2022 Manning Passing Academy. For now, the focus for Finn is all about being a great true leader and the great student athlete many believe him to be. Describe your playing style overall as a quarterback.
I say a little bit of excitement, I can throw the ball, as well as run the ball, once I run the ball, a lot of guys, a lot of people, fans, get excited. I'm just competitive. Like, the competitive edge is just there. Once I'm locked in and we on the green grass, I'm locked in all the way.
When seeing all the dazzling plays in large stadiums, many would ask what ultimately gets Daquan charged up on the field.
Before the game, I give thanks to my God. I listen to some old school music. I like cooking steak a lot, so steak, pasta, chicken breast and potatoes. It's exciting, seeing the fans cheering on you once you score a touchdown. Once you get a first down, you can just hear them just all excited, just smiling, just going crazy. So, I just love that feeling from them.
Daquan takes pride in the privilege of being a true leader very seriously. Along the way, many have helped him grow in this aspect.
Coach Kendall was right there beside me the whole way. Coach Haddle was there beside me the whole way. Just having those guys wrap their arms around me, it's been a blessing. I feel as though a great leader is someone that can rally the guys around them. When times get tough, they look back at that guy and know that they can depend on that guy, no matter what the circumstance may be.
Coach Kendall also has mentioned that he is more than pleased with how honest Daquan Finn has been with himself as a player. Live in the newsroom, I'm Jamon McKinney, UT10 Sports.
Thanks, Jamon. Finn and the Rockets football team took on the Central Michigan Chippewas last Saturday for UT's homecoming game. Central Michigan got on the scoreboard first with this 42-yard field goal from Marshall Meter that just snuck through the uprights. Toledo would tie the game after a Thomas Cluckey 45-yard field goal. In the second quarter, the Rockets took a 10-3 lead on a 1-yard touchdown pass from Daquan Finn to Jamal Turner. Adrian Wolliver's forced fumble was recovered by the Rockets defense and set up Toledo's next score, a Micah Kelly 2-yard touchdown run. Good work by the offensive line there. Demir Blankumsee's 11-yard touchdown grab extended Toledo's lead to 24-3. The Rockets took a 31-3 lead into halftime after Jaquez Stewart's 4-yard touchdown scamper. Central Michigan came out firing in the third quarter as quarterback Daniel Richardson connected on a deep ball with Noah Koenig's neck to close the gap to 31-11. That's a dime. That's as close as the Chippewas would come, as the Rockets defense held their ground and Thomas Zyros recovered a fumble in the end zone for Toledo's final score of the game. Toledo's next game is Saturday afternoon against Northern Illinois at Husky Stadium in DeKalb, Illinois. Kickoff is at 3:30. You can watch the game on ESPN Plus or listen to radio coverage on 88.3 WXUT and 1370 WSPD. That's all the time we have for sports today. Back to you, Crystal and Sydney.
Thank you, Zeke. That's it for UT10 News.
Remember, you can catch newscast replays on YouTube. And don't forget to follow us on social media. And listen to 88.3 WXUT FM, Saturday mornings at 7:45 for the UT10 Weekly News Update. We'll see you next week.